Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Arrow Panel, episode 21. This is our sort of live, dance game discussion show. I'm one of your many frequent panelists, Jeff, aka Funga. We got also
Dalton, Blue Chows.
Yep, we got it's the two of us. It's a small setting. Unfortunately, Roger and James are preoccupied this evening.
It's Roger's 5th anniversary,
Yeah.
so everybody go wish Roger a happy
Rish Watcher.
Watcher. Yeah. And then we took last week off because I was sick and James was sick and everybody was busy. So
We thought everyone would show up this time, but
yeah. But we're back with a jam-packed show for you.
yeah, we got a lot to catch up on. We're ramping up right into KAC, so this is going to be nonstop action, I think.
Indeed.
So first off, let's talk about Genesis 5. So, fighting game tournament that happened on the 20th of January.
It was here in Oakland.
Yes.
Or, well, Oakland is close to us.
It wasn't that bad to get there. And so, like, normally a fighting game tournament, they also had, like, a small arcade section hosted by Game Saru, Kenchan, for a lot of people who might know him. Really nice guy. Brought a bunch of his cabs down, including 2 extreme cabs. So they had an actual legit extreme tournament, which was amazing from my perspective. What did you think, Dalton?
Yeah, it was really cool to go back and like enter an extreme tournament. And I mean, so it was random caprice, so it had the added element of having Marvelous in there. And actually, we used Extreme Pro for the qualifier, so that helped cut down on some time.
Yeah. It turns out when you just have perfects, everyone just ties on the qualifier over and over and over again. So you have to have some way to break the ties. Sometimes, you try to do 3 songs or something, that takes forever. Sometimes people do, just a normal nonstop set. I think that's how Storm did it.
Yeah, which takes forever.
Yeah, so you have 4 songs or whatever that, everyone has to play just to seed. We're too good now.
Yeah, well, you are.
Well, I don't know. There's a lot of people who can AAA stuff on Command Time.
I didn't AAA either of the qualifiers.
That's fair.
So.
They were also hard. They weren't that simple. It was Senko's Marching and
Love to Me
AMD mix.
Yeah.
Yeah, not disco.
Yeah, and I hadn't played Saint in like more than 5 years probably. Yeah. So, but yeah, it was a really good tournament. Jeff ended up winning.
Woo!
What else is new?
Well, it was close.
It was very close. So I think I got like top 8. So actually, we had a lot of entrants there. We had to cap it at 48, I believe.
Yeah.
Because there were so many people that pre-regged, and we were like, wow, who are all these people? But it turns out that like a lot of them were just people that were there for the Smash tournaments, or there's like Splatoon and other fighting games and stuff, who must have just seen DDR on the registration and be like, oh, I like DDR, and they, so they paid the entry fee and entered, and so it was really cool to just kind of get all these other people who were interested rather than like the usual crowd.
Yeah, I mean the crazy thing to me is that there were at least I think 2 top level Smash players.
Oh yeah, Toph.
Toph, he didn't enter.
Oh, he didn't enter. Yeah, that's right. But he was there. He was
I think like Tafo Kins.
Oh,
I think is his name.
Tafo. Yeah.
And someone else, I forget who, but they were like, we were streaming this on Twitch, and when their matches came up, suddenly there was just a bunch of people in chat who we had never heard of before.
Yeah.
And who were like, go, they're cheering on. So I just find that weird that obviously everything seems so obvious now, but there's an intersection between fighting games and music games. All of us have known that for years, but the fact that like this was just like the perfect harmony of having a dance game tournament at a fighting game venue, which led people who were interested in fighting games and in fact very good at them to enter a DDR tournament. It just, I don't know why, but it was like this moment of realization that like, wow, there's actually a lot of overlap here, and this is the perfect place to do an event.
Yeah, because at traditional dance game tournaments, like the only people there are the people who are interested in it to begin with.
Yeah.
And like maybe random passerbys, if you're in a mall or something. But it's like you're only going to go to the tournament if you're already like a fairly hardcore dance game player.
Yeah.
Whereas this was, there's so many people who appreciate and understand like the competitive aspect of games there already. I mean, this was like 100,000 square foot like convention. It was at the Oakland Convention Center. Like
it was huge.
It was massive. Like So there's, all these people and all these different games competing that similar interest, but just a different game. But they can walk by and appreciate and be like, oh man, especially because it was Extreme. That was
Yeah, a lot of people had the nostalgia already for it.
for Extreme, and then be like, yeah, no, we're having a tournament right now, and they're like, whoa, really? Like, oh yeah, I used to play this song. So I mean, it's just really cool, talking to people and kind of even filling them in about the like, oh yeah, people still play. There's a new version that just came out. Go hit up Dave and Buster's round one. Go check it out.
Dave,
like
your local Buster.
Yeah, and they're like, oh man, I had no idea.
Yeah.
So it was just a really cool experience, and like you said, it was a moment of realization that we're like, man, like this is like a great pairing.
Yeah.
So I think like that might be a good way to go forward.
That's my theory.
Trying to pair these like music game tournaments, or at least DDR tournaments, with fighting game tournaments, because the venue's already covered.
Yeah.
Basically, I mean, I don't know how the organization of the tournament itself worked, but like it's not nearly the same as like for DDR Storm, where we had to like rent out the ballroom at the resort there. And the organizers had like front the cost themselves. Like that's really difficult, but to already have all that like taken care of and just kind of like latch onto this much bigger thing, like Evo's in the summer, I think.
Yeah.
Like if we could get like DDR at Evo, like that would be super sick. Like ideally it would be Ace, but right now that's not really possible. But Extreme Pro
really breathes like new life into the game and has the potential to like be the saving grace for these styles of tournaments, because you wouldn't be able to get away with just a vanilla Extreme tournament in 2018.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I guess Random Caprice still matters and stuff, but you have just more options now, and everyone's familiar with Extreme, so yeah, there's a lot of like partnerships that I think could happen. Genesis was super nice to us. They retweeted a bunch of our tournament like stream links.
Yeah.
They host like Showdown GG hosted us on Twitch. They took like professional photos of me, Chris, and Roger, who were the top three. It was just like really strange to like, this is on the cusp of esports. Like,
yeah,
we usually are doing all of this stuff ourselves, and to have kind of backing from an esports organization that already exists and has already worked out a bunch of the kinks.
Yeah, and they already had sponsors. Like Nintendo was the sponsor of the event. Like
I was told that was less of a sponsor, more of a license. But yes.
Well, their logo
was everywhere. Yes, at least it wasn't like some shady backroom, stuff going on.
But I mean, it's just a really cool experience and a learning experience, I think, for us, and just kind of everyone involved of kind of where this can go and how to approach it, rather than just trying to do these things like sort of by ourselves. Because of course, like there's not going to be just Splatoon tournaments, or if they are, they're on a much smaller scale. But like Splatoon was like pop at this fighting game tournament. It's a different genre of game, but like it still fit in there. They had commentators, like we had commentators at our booth too, but it was just so cool to watch, and people cheering and so excited. It's just really cool.
We need salt cams for DDR.
Seriously, like mounted on the side of the machine.
Yeah, well, we need like people holding cameras, I think, because that's how Splatoon did it. When like the other team would lose, they'd zoom over their faces and like their despair.
They'd be like, oh, and they like throw their headphones off.
Yeah. It was. We need salt cams for DDR.
I mean, honestly, you could just mount face cams to the side of the machine.
I
think that might work.
And then we'd look ridiculous 100% of the time.
Yeah, that's the worst angle.
Yeah, it's really bad. Anyway, speaking of DDR esports, we got an interesting. I mean, it's an interesting announcement. First of all, like there's the new dance game that we've mentioned a couple times. It went through a bunch of different names. It's now settled on Dance Rush Stardom. It's Konami's new rhythm game. It's also called Shunithm by some people, because it's basically Shunithm, which is a Sega music game, but on a stage with your feet rather than with your hands.
Yeah, so from what I've seen, it's like a big sort of just flat stage that you stand on.
Yeah, it's like a mat, you know.
There's no buttons or anything really, but it must just use motion tracking or pressure.
It's either pressure sensors or there's a Kinect involved.
Or something.
I'm not sure exactly.
It looks like there's crazy like LEDs and stuff.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, you kind of have to move around the pad. It's much more similar to actual dancing than
Or Dance Evolution kind of style rather than DDR style.
Yeah, lots of sort of b-boy moves, I guess. Like a lot of
you shuffle back and forth.
Yeah, a lot of shuffling, sliding your feet.
It was called Shuffle Dancers for a while.
No, well, there you go.
Yeah, but the important thing. So Konami released this like investor report thing, and was talking about how this is the 20th anniversary of DDR, which thank God they acknowledged it. And so like in celebration, they're going to be pushing Dance Rush Stardom. That's coming out in March. Whether or not round ones in America will get it we're not sure yet. Maybe. Presumably it's going to be at KAC. They had Nostalgia last year before it was actually released, so they might do a similar thing. I think it's also location testing in Osaka. Basically, I hope I get to play it once while I'm there. And maybe it'll come here, which would be great. But yeah, they mentioned like they're really doubling down on like their dance games or something. They said that like there's an S at the end. I'm not sure if, because Japanese, like it was a translation from English, I think an official translation, but like there's no plurals in Japanese really, so it could mean that they're just focusing on Dance Rush Stardom. It could mean that they're going to be like they have plans for other music games besides DDR and Dance Rush. It's kind of unclear. We're hopeful, but skeptical. They also mentioned the word esports, so it's like, ooh. But I think they also think that KAC is esports. So
because somewhere on the website that I was looking for, on Konami's website, it actually says like Konami Arcade Championships is like the premier esports event.
Yeah.
So
not exactly, but they're trying.
Yeah, like if that's their idea of esports.
It's not great, but at the same time, like what I'm trying to convince certain people is Konami's a monolithic company. Like they're this massive organization. They're gonna move more slowly than, the PUBGs and the League of Legends of the world. Like those things are, they sort of have this kind of very organic success.
Well, and like startup culture.
Yeah, exactly. You can move faster. This is not only is it a huge company, but it's a Japanese huge company. And if there's anything Japanese people are known for, especially in corporations, it's moving very, very slowly. There's not too much innovation going on at Konami headquarters, unfortunately.
Yeah, but we're hopeful, and I think any amount of even if the rules or format isn't like perfect right off the bat, like any amount of tournament series or something, like even if it was quarterly, sort of online series or something, just to get people more interested and get people to play more, invest more in DDR, whether that's in America or in Japan, hopefully both. I think it's good.
Yeah.
No matter what, like it's good to see more competition. So that's kind of what we're hoping for.
Yeah. In other news, we have 2 brand new songs for the Valentine's Day event and White Day event, also known as Wit Day event.
Wit Day, yes, there was a typo on the folder.
In English when they translated it. Great.
Yeah. So what is White Day?
Okay, so, I'll actually explain Valentine's Day first. So in Japan, Valentine's Day is a day where women give men gifts. It is kind of the opposite. Like usually, Valentine's Day in America is a lot of mutual exchange, but this is like, if you're a Japanese schoolgirl, like you get some chocolates and you give it to, it's mainly chocolates, you give it to the guy that you like. And then on White Day, which is 1 month after, so March 14th.
Also known as Pi Day. But that doesn't work in the way Japanese do dates.
It's true.
So, never mind.
But then the guys reciprocate and give girls gifts, usually chocolates, I think, again. So, yeah, they're like last year it was just a Valentine's Day event. I guess they're broadening horizons. They still just gave us 2 songs. They came out yesterday. So
which DDR character would you give chocolates to for White Day?
Oh, Emmy, for sure.
Okay.
Assuming that she gave me some to begin with, on Valentine's Day. You can't have this unrequited love. That's no bueno.
So what songs we got?
We got, okay, the first one's a song called Chocolate Philosophy.
It's a good song.
Really interesting BPM. It's 110.
Mm-hmm.
It's 220 in some other...
Music.
Like,
it's from Pop... Or no. The other one's from Poppin'.
I forget what Chocolate Philosophy's from.
Yeah.
I should have researched this.
But yeah, 110 BPM kind of swing beat. So actually, I got my first MFC yesterday.
You did. Very, very good. Congratulations. Sight read, MFC.
Yeah, I had looked at
the
chart.
chart.
I watched the YouTube video of the chart.
Yeah.
Beforehand.
But first try.
Yes, first try. Just sort of surprised myself. I was like, oh, hey, look what happens if I play a 10.
Yeah, and we were actually talking about how earlier...
Yeah, like, literally earlier in the day, like, we were talking with some friends about how, like, I didn't have any MFCs, and I was like, yeah, I don't really play anything, like, less than 14s that much. And then...
Plays a 10. And
play a 10 MFC at first try.
I remember, like, a year and a half ago, we were playing Ace in round 1, and you got 1 on Fever.
Yeah.
Like... I had like 4 and like 9 on it at the time, and you get 1 on it, and I was like, oh man, you're close to an MFC. And then here we are.
Like a year and a half later.
Yeah.
Finally got one.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think if I just actually sat down and played some easier stuff more and like really tried MFC stuff, I could, but it's not.
It's nice, but you just got 1 for free.
Yeah,
like, now it's like, you don't have to worry about the first one.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's great. And then the other song, all right, well, Chocolate Philosophy has a
10 expert.
A 10 expert, and then a 12 challenge, which is a 13 on double.
So the 10 expert's just 8th notes at 110 BPM. And then the challenge adds in some 12th note. What are they? 24ths, I guess. Swing notes.
I guess they're 24ths. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just swing time. Fun time.
Yeah, it's still pretty easy. Nothing too complicated. It's fun though.
Yeah.
So, and the other song?
High School Love, which is grinning ear to ear as I say that, because High School Love's one of my favorite songs from... These are all like crossovers they're both crossovers from other games. High School Love was from Poppin' originally. It's in 2DX as well. Just really, it's Yoshitaka. It's a very upbeat song with great vocals, 180 BPM. There's a 13 for it in DDR now. And
it's a good 13.
It's just solid fun. Like I was nervous because it's such a it has such a special. I used to play it in Poppin' all the time. That was basically every set I'd have to play High School Love once, and the chart's just really, really fun. I was nervous they were going to mess it up a little bit, but no, it's great. Yeah, it's actually a lot of fun.
It's solid. It doesn't get really repetitive or boring or anything. It
follows the music nice.
Yeah, it's good. It's a nice up-down drill, your favorite.
Yeah, I got 3 in the up-down drill and didn't MFC it, so that's cool.
Womp womp.
That's fine, though. So yeah, go play those new songs. They're in Extra Savior, so you just have to extra stage, just play them, pass them, you'll get them.
You'll unlock them. Yeah, so you have to unlock the expert for Chocolate Philosophy first, and then you can get the challenge.
And separated on double and singles, so if you want double, you have to play those
on
there.
Double. Yep.
So, that sucks, but whatever. What else we got? We're ramping up to KAC.
Indeed.
This is our last episode for a little while. Maybe.
Yeah, so I don't know if Thursday is the day I'm landing, so we normally record on Thursdays. Thursday's the day I'm landing at like 7:30 p.m.
And I'm not doing an episode 2 days before KAC.
Yeah, no. So, but maybe if we can somehow get people together a couple days after KAC, we'll try and record something somehow.
Yeah, I think it would be nice to do a quick post-game, post-KAC,
Yeah, and maybe we could talk to Chris and
yeah.
I don't know how much use having Japanese people on would be if they can't.
Actually, that'd be really cool. Well, we could make something happen.
Yeah,
maybe.
So we'll try and wing it if we can.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna be very busy. Got plans going everywhere.
It's vacation for a lot of us, so yeah.
Gonna eat lots of curry.
I'm already thinking about it. I can't stop thinking about it, actually. It's consuming my life.
Curry reacts only.
Yes. So
why don't you run us kind of through what's gonna happen day of?
Oh, right. We have that's the thing I wanted to talk about earlier is we had the finals, the area finals.
Oh, true.
That completed for both Eastern and Western Japan. So what happened was, for those of you who are a little forgetful or didn't listen to the past episodes, let me break it down for you. So Japan had technically 14 people qualify, quote unquote, for KAC, in addition to Chris, who's the defending champion, so he got auto-invited. Me, being the first seed from America. Fefem's the first seed from Korea. And this guy Renan, who's the first seed from Asia. So then, besides that, there are 14 Japanese players, 7 in East Japan and 7 in West Japan. And what they did, and they did this for DDR, 2DX, and Sound Voltex, so they had like a preliminary sort of qualifier event for the areas last weekend. So they brought the 7 players from Eastern Japan, they did that one day, and then 7 players from Western Japan did that the other day, and streamed it live on YouTube, which was really cool to watch. And basically, 2 players from East Japan moved on to KAC. They'll meet up in the semifinals with a bunch of us, and 1 player from West Japan. So the way that it worked was sort of the top seed from the first place finisher in both Eastern and Western Japan didn't have to play in this like first round, which is actually very similar how it works in semifinals and finals in KAC. So Brosoni sat out and Zero Wolf sat out. They were the top for Western and Eastern Japan respectively, and then everyone else played. Like the top 3 moved on, and then they whittled it down to either 2 or 1. So the results were that from Eastern Japan, Zero Wolf and Hoshikechi were the 2 people who advanced. And then in a kind of an upset, Western Japan, Yudai won. A lot of people, I was expecting Brosoni to win.
Yeah. Since
he's sort of, classically been the strongest player in Japan, quote unquote. And just seeing him, there, I was like, oh yeah, of course he's got it. He was also the top finisher for the actual KAC qualifiers. So seemed kind of obvious that he would make it, and it was close. It was really, really close, but Yudai ended up beating him by 1 point in this like ranked system.
Yeah. I think Brosoni might have been kind of nervous though.
Yeah?
Don't you?
Yes, of course. Brosoni had something else on his mind.
He did.
So afterwards, after the results were announced, he actually proposed to his girlfriend Shizuka, and they're 2 of my best friends. I always love hanging out with them in Japan, and seeing them, like, she accepted. They're gonna get married. It's crazy.
And it was it was live on stream too.
It
was like after like they were doing the results kind of, and they were like interviewing him.
Yeah.
And so he like called her over sorta. And it was all like live on stream. It was really cute.
Yeah, it was. I basically cried. They're 2 of my favorite people in the universe, and wishing them nothing but the best.
Yeah. So I don't think he was too upset about losing. But it's great for Yudai.
Yeah, it changes things a lot actually, because I don't really know what he's good at. And now I have to know. Like Brosoni, I was like, okay, he's probably going to pick Dead End Groove Radar Special again, like he did last year. Or, maybe Neutrino or something. He's pretty good at Neutrino. But now this sort of throws a wrench into at least my plans in terms of what I'm preparing for.
Yeah. It just kind of shows that anything can happen, like especially with the sort of point ranking system.
Yeah.
Where if you're the first place finisher in the group, you get 10 points for that song, second place 9, third place 8, fourth place 7, whatever.
Yeah, that's only in the finals though.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So the semifinals, so to keep going with how this works, there's a semifinal round at KAC, which is 210, or it's actually it's the night of the 9th for most of us in the Western Hemisphere. So there's 6 players in that. It's going to be me, Zero Wolf, Hoshikechi, Yudai, Fefems, and Renan. 2 people get to pick a song. It's random. We're not sure who those 2 people are right now. I don't know when they're going to announce that.
Or like if everybody's going to like put a song in a hat and then they
draw it. We don't know. We'll have to find out. But that is a cumulative EX scoring, so just like how it was last year.
Gotcha.
The top 3 combined EX score people will move on to the finals, where Chris will be waiting as the final boss. And then those 3 people pick a song, so Chris doesn't get a pick. And from there, it's that ranked EX scoring.
Yeah. But in the preliminary, it was also the ranked scoring.
Yeah, I think for the second part of that.
Yes, for the second part.
The first part was still cumulative.
Brosoni lost 27 7 to 20.
It was 29 to 28.
29, yeah.
So he got 10, 9, and 9, and the other guy got, and Udai got 10, 10, and 9.
Yeah. So it's very interesting.
Yeah. So that's going to be how KAC works. We can talk about predictions. We can talk about concerns. We can talk about anything that's not, hey, Jeff, what have you been practicing? Because it's all a secret. It's
yeah.
Everyone's asking me. Why are you asking me? It's a secret. I don't understand. Why would I tell you?
Who knows if Fafems is listening in intently.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Fafems, I mean, he's been practicing a lot.
He's been killing it.
Yeah.
It's a good thing KAC doesn't involve double because it would be game over, man.
He got a 993K on Possessions CDP, which is a 19 on double, actually. There's one more 19 on double. It's kind of fun to think about. And it's Possession. And that's the first soft AAA of any 19 on double ever. And he did it no problem.
Yeah.
And there's a gif of him double stepping it, and it's the most mind-bending thing in the universe.
If you're familiar with Possession at all, it has the sort of 12th notes at the end, and it's rough.
But it's across two paths.
Yeah, exactly.
With like jacks and step jumps, and oh my god.
Yeah, it's rough, and he like double steps it with like one leg on each pad, basically.
Yeah, and like green combos it, basically. Almost PFCs that part.
Yeah, I think he only got like one miss.
Oh my god. It wasn't even in that section.
Yeah, it was in the run.
Oh my god.
It's disgusting. Go watch the video of that.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Fafems is ridiculous.
Yeah, I can't even like pass 17s on double. It's so hard. It's so tiring. He just has unlimited stamina. Wish I was 19 again.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So who do you think? Who's kind of your prediction of who the three that are going to move out of that round?
It's got to be Fafems is definitely getting out. I think I'm getting out. From there, it's kind of a toss-up. It's really going to depend on whose picks come up.
Yeah, so that, like, I think the rules this year are better than they were last year.
Yeah.
And we kind of discussed this before, but the one thing that is very weird and it doesn't feel super competitive, I guess, or it is that this aspect of randomness.
Yeah.
That, like, I don't know if Konami doesn't realize, like, how big of an advantage song choice gives you.
Yeah.
Or what, but like to just be like, oh, everybody gets an equal chance of picking a song, whether you finished like first in the US or if you finished, whatever it was, third in Japan or something.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, like the last year, at least for the song picks for semis, it made a little bit more sense because it was the top two second seeds got to pick a song. So neither the wild card nor the worst second seed got to pick. So that's like, okay, I understand that.
Like you're rewarded for doing well.
Yeah. Like not only do you qualify, but like it shouldn't just be your goal to qualify. You should also try to get the best score. Here, other than qualifying, at least for me, Fafems, and Renan, there was no advantage to being better comparatively than anyone else. Like Fafems locked in his first position. He had no incentive to try to beat my score because nothing in the rules. I mean, like I don't really know if the rules were out. I guess they weren't at the time, but rewarded for
yeah, exactly,
for not doing anything.
Yeah, these are the kind of things that would be nice to know ahead of time.
Yeah,
I mean, not that it would have made a difference in this case. But...
Yeah. But so now, having two songs be random, like if Zerawolf gets a song pick and like Hoshikechi or something, like that throws it for a loop, It's like they have a much higher chance now of getting out. Cumulative EX, I'm not a fan, but it will play into this, Too many people picked Valkyrie Dimensions CSP in the West Japan finals, so a little nervous about that. Over the Period challenge was picked. Like these, Japanese players were not messing around.
They weren't shying away. Yeah, especially with EX score, like that's more viable. But in the final round, like 17s could potentially be more viable because it's just if you win by any margin.
Yeah, exactly. So there's going to be very distinct. Like I'm thinking right now to myself, I'm going to have very distinctive picks. Like they don't really overlap because there's an optimization for beating someone by a lot and an optimization for beating someone at all.
Yeah, and consistently being able to
exactly.
beat someone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it honestly could go any way.
Yeah.
It's just depending. It relies very heavily, I think, on those song picks.
Yeah.
Maybe not to Fefems because 19s are kind of his jam.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm like. That's what I'm getting at. Like I think Fefems has no trouble getting out because I think no matter what gets picked, he is pretty much leagues above of everyone on like anything that I'm good at. He's at least comparable. But the things that I'm bad at, like someone else is better than me at. No one's really better than Fefems.
Yeah.
In any like real tactical, like something that would make him get fourth, like that just doesn't. It does not compute. Like
yeah. So should be very interesting.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna get my shirt. I like getting a KAC shirt. I'm gonna not tumble dry it this time, so I can actually maybe wear it more than once. They shrink.
Did it shrink a bit?
Really shrunk. It's really sad. I can't wear it outside.
Oh.
It's a Japanese large, and it. Like, I get a little midriff going on if I,
That's cute.
Yeah,
You should just turn it into a crop top.
Yeah, oh man, that'd be great. No, ain't nobody want to see that. No, let's put that away.
There's probably somebody out there.
Maybe. We'll see. What else we got?
So finals, Fems versus Chris, since those are the only two that we know pretty sure right now are making it.
Yeah.
Like, how do you think that would shake out?
I'm gonna say a little hot take right now. I think Fefems is gonna win this year.
Yeah.
That would be my prediction. Probably just because, like, as good as Chris is, not having a song pick hurts him way more.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Like, it's the reason that last year was so close was that both Fefems and Chris got their song picks, and even then it was only 30 difference.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like, Fefems could have taken it if he didn't mess up the middle of Paranoia Revolution as bad as he did. Now, remove that, like, 100 EX or I guess Chris was down by, like, 35 EX or something going into Egoism, so he won by, like, 65. That's gone.
Yeah.
He does not get Egoism. Like, that matters, right? Mm-hmm. And it's cumulative EX, so it's ranked EX, so there's a chance he can just like if he is second on my song and second on Fefems' song and maybe like first on the third person song, then he could win very easily.
Mm-hmm.
That is still a tall order.
Yeah, I mean even that's the thing, is that even messing up one song, I mean it's the same with EX, but I mean if you mess up one song and you get fourth,
yeah,
like that's it.
Yeah, it probably based on the results from the area finals. Yeah, that kind of looks like the scores were mostly like 29 to 28, and then someone had like 23.
Yeah,
it's not really
close. There's a big gap there.
Yeah,
I mean just by the nature of the way. And it was kind of the same with Idola too, the online tournament that used a similar thing.
Yeah, that was a little bit weird weighting, but yes.
Yeah. It was just kind of like a much larger distribution.
Yeah. So, what honestly, I like, this is really going to come down to the third person, I think. Like, so let's assume for a second that it's at least me, Fefems, and Chris in the finals. That third person, or that fourth person, the third person that makes it out of semis, could play spoiler. Like, if they pick a 17, I might win. Mm. Because I can probably MA better than the others.
Yeah.
So if I win my pick...
Especially cold.
Yeah, if I win my pick and this guy's pick, and then I get second or third, like 29 or 28, well, that's a win.
Mm-hmm.
But if he picks a 19, then Fefems wins. Or if he picks Egoism, maybe Chris wins. This person kind of almost feels like they can decide it, because I don't think that person can win.
Mm-hmm.
So you're really just playing spoiler at that point. And that's what's going to be crazy to me. Like, if it's...
Yeah, I mean, maybe they have, if it's two... I mean, I guess it wouldn't be two Japanese people.
It could be if I don't make it.
That's true. Yeah. So, I mean, if one, if there's two Japanese players that make it, and one of them goes, hey, I'm not going to win, but I want you to win, or I want you to have a better chance, like, what song do you want me to pick?
I mean, I've been, thinking about that, like, the whole collusion thing. Like, it's totally possible. Like, me and Fefems could talk about, what we should pick. We're not doing that.
Yeah.
Partially because we can't speak the same fucking language, but also it would be rude and mean.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there is that, there is the potential for, like, I think this is my strategy, and I think this should also be Fefem's strategy, but, like, I think Chris has the best chance of, like, doing, like, average to very well on all of our songs.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I think it's in Fefem's best interest. Like, Fefem should be more threatened by Chris than he is of me. So it's in Fefem's best interest to make sure that, like, he gets first on his song pick, I get second, and Chris gets third.
Mm.
And then my thinking is very similar of, like, I want me to get first, and then
Chris gets second,
and Fefem's gets third, like, or yeah, something like that. Or I would want Chris to also get third. I don't actually. It's different for me, but certainly for Fefem's, I think it makes more sense for him to pick something that I might execute okay at, knowing that he can just beat me on the other ones.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of, like, strategy that's going into this pick.
Yeah, it's a lot of mind games.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's oh man.
It's a little spicy, you know?
I have a hard enough time, like, vetoing songs, like, in card draw tournaments that I'm like, whatever, that one. But man, yeah, having to, like, sort of stew on your song picks for...
I guess what I'm getting at is, like, it's not just in everyone's best interest to pick their best songs.
Yeah.
You also have to take into account what everyone else is good at.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to win your song pick. You also want to, like, the people that need to lose your song pick need to really lose.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that really interesting dynamic there. I don't know. I think it's great.
Yeah, I mean, it requires a lot of knowledge of the other players.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, you don't know Udai that well.
Yeah, I don't know who's going to be in the final. So, like, it's hard. You have to prepare for everything.
Yeah, you have to have plan A, B, C.
Like, at least last year, if I make it out of semis, I lost all autonomy at that point. I don't get a song pick in finals.
Yeah, that's true.
And I know who's in finals, so I'll just practice the songs that I think they're going to pick. Now it's kind of the whole, thing's been shaken up,
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of different ways that this could go, and preparing for all of them is quite challenging.
It'll be exciting to watch.
Yeah.
I'm excited I get to be there to watch it. I will be dying. I have my Fitbit. It has my heart rate.
Okay.
I'm gonna, like, screenshot that graph of my heart rate. Like, I'm not even playing. I'm just watching.
Yeah.
But I know that my heart rate's gonna, like...
It's hype as hell.
It's gonna, like, skyrocket just, like, watching this all go down.
Yeah.
So I'm hyped. They haven't announced the times yet. I think DDR is last on Saturday, though.
Is it?
Bomani Style tweeted, like, these are the games on Saturday, these are the games on Sunday, and they linked to Konami's website, but I couldn't quite find where exactly it said that, but at least on Bomani Style's tweet, they put DDR last.
Interesting. Wasn't last year.
Yeah, so there was, like, 4 games.
Yeah.
And DDR was last. So I don't know if that's in order. That might have just been a list of the games on that day, not necessarily in that order.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I would also, like, well, for anyone who's interested, there's a lot of people hold viewing parties. Like, that's what happened last year. A lot of people got together Friday night and, gathered around a big TV or a projection screen or something and watched live. So I encourage you all to find people in your area that are watching, because there were so many cool moments, people cheering, like American flags being woven around, and a lot of, Oliver said it best, I think, is this what sports feels like?
Yeah, basically, like, if you've never, like, rooted for, I mean, it may be different now with esports and stuff, like, oh, I'm rooting for this Overwatch team, but, like, if you're never really into sports, you don't care who wins the Super Bowl, like...
But a lot of people, like, if we're dance game nerds, we care about, this is the one really big event of the year. So, highly encourage you to check it out. Should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's. I'm sure the link will be all over Twitter and Facebook. Yeah. Join the DDR Players Facebook group if you haven't.
Join the SF Evolved Discord.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm sure.
I'll post that. We'll be posting in the announcements. There's a new announcements channel that I made to try to give announcements, because that's probably something we needed to do.
We should have announced and asked for questions tonight.
Oh, that would have been good. Oh, well, we're still learning.
Indeed.
But I'll try to make sure I'm posting links there, so it's really easy to get to all the information you need.
Yeah. Is that about all we have to say about KAC?
I think so.
Without revealing any trade secrets.
Any trade secrets, yes. So that, like, this segues very nicely into the next day. So what happens after KAC, Dalton?
The day after KAC is going to be another tournament.
Oh my goodness gracious.
It's called Extra Exclusive. It's mainly being organized by Hudson, Kaze. And it's kind of meant for, like, since there's going to be all these great players in Japan at this time from all over the world, for KAC, just like so many people, especially from the US, that are going there just to watch and cheer on, like, but they can't compete in KAC itself. There's this other opportunity to compete. So, which is kind of exciting for me. So I've been trying to play. There's a qualifier set. Qualifier ends Monday. I don't know exactly what time, or if that's Japan time or here time, but yeah, February 5th is the last day to submit your qualifier. You have to play a set of Endorphins. Is it Endorphin or
Just one Endorphin.
Okay. Well, yeah, like you said, there's no plural in...
Yeah.
Endorphin. I guess it's like dopamine, huh? Endorphin, Monkey Business, and Triple Counter.
Yep.
It's a pretty rough set, for me at least. It's hard to be consistent on any of those songs. There's lots of opportunities to screw up. So basically the way that you enter the qualifier is just play a set of those songs. You get a mulligan, so you can redo one of them on Extra Stage. It's kind of nice. Then you just tweet your score with hashtag, I think it's extra exclusive 2018. There's a Facebook event for it. You can go search just like extra exclusive. Man, that's hard to say. On Facebook, and there's an event with all the information. So basically, the top 16 qualifiers from the KAC rankings like automatically qualify if they're going, and then the bottom 16, they're capping it at 32. So the bottom 16 are qualifiers from this qualifier period. And it's open to anybody who qualified top 100 in KAC.
Yep.
So I don't know how many Japanese players are going to stick around. So, I mean, I really don't know if I'll even be able to qualify or not. It really depends, because I finished around 54th in KAC qualifier, so I don't know if there's enough people not going to show up.
I'm sure there will be.
That could potentially be above me, so I don't know. We'll see. But, I mean, it's going to be exciting to watch. Renting out, like, the entire, like, what is it, 8th floor or something? So it's in...
Akihabara. It's the Tri-Tower Amusement Arcade.
Yeah, now it's called Eternal Tower or something.
Did they really change the name?
Yeah, they changed the name of it.
Wow, cool. Neat.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
They have a white cab. It's good.
Yeah. So, renting out the entire floor. So, gonna stream it, I think, on SF Evolved on our Twitch.
Is that us?
I believe so.
Oh, wow. I have no idea what's going on.
Yep.
I'm not bringing anything to Japan. I'm not bringing my desktop. I'm not bringing my headsets. I don't care. I got enough to worry about.
I think Steve Foster might be handling some of that.
Whatever happens, we'll tweet out links, even if it's not us that's running it.
Yeah, we'll make it work. It might just be on our channel. I don't know if that we're actually in charge of.
Right. Yeah.
But we'll let you know. But yeah, so just kind of another opportunity for people to compete. These people who, a lot of Americans kind of felt left out, but they want to go to Japan anyway to go hang out and meet people and cheer on everybody at KAC. So this is just an opportunity while everybody's there anyway to get together and have another little tournament.
Yep.
Hopefully people aren't too tired from KAC the day before.
We'll see what happens.
Too stressed out, and hope nobody goes out and drinks too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, it should be fun. So yeah, that's the Sunday following KAC.
Yep. Akihabara, Tokyo. If you're in town, come hang out with us.
Yeah.
Come check it out.
And I made some sweet shirts.
Oh yeah. Is that actually happening?
I sent the files to Hudson, and he's sending them to a guy. I don't know. But hopefully there's some sick shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, excited for that.
Cool.
Looking forward. And then Jeff, what are we going to do on Monday?
Oh, man. Well, we can't stop there. We gotta have the fun times keep rolling. So, as we've mentioned this before on previous episodes, we're having our first ever SF Evolved meetup, not in SF, but in Japan instead, which is clearly the location that you would expect.
It's basically San Francisco.
Yes. This arcade evokes more of a Forbidden City, China kind of feel.
Ah.
We got the Kawasaki Warehouse. It's also called Anata no Warehouse in Kawasaki, Japan. And it's one of our favorite arcades. It's modeled after Forbidden City in China. It's a sick arcade. They've got 2 DDR machines. They've also got a ton of other stuff. we picked that. We like James is a huge fan of that arcade. A couple of us have tried to make it a point to go there regularly. So felt like a good place for our first ever meetup. So this is just going to be kind of a really casual, come hang out with us, talk to us, play some games with us. We'll try to, maybe we'll like solicit some questions, do a live Q&A, whatever we might be able to do based on the noise levels and how much recording they'll let us do. But it's a great opportunity for us to all hang out in person, because right now a lot of this is just like talking at a microphone and reading comments afterwards, but actually having in-person communication is pretty cool.
Yeah. I think one thing I need for Japan is a name tag.
Hi, my name is Dalton.
No, hi, my name is Blue Chows.
Okay, fair enough. That's fair. Well,
and then in parentheses, Dalton.
Dalton, yes.
Much smaller.
Actually, your legal name is Blue Chows, and Dalton is what you go by.
I mean, that is what I put on my passport. That's gonna be Blue Chows.
Runberg?
Yeah, that's gonna be okay, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, they'll let me on the plane.
Yeah.
Sweet, no problem.
Birth certificate, Oh God.
Yeah, so that's gonna be a lot of dance games for 3 days.
It will be, and then
probably even the Friday beforehand too. So 4 days.
Yeah.
I played the past 2 days and I'm sore. I mean, granted, I played 2 19s last night, which...
Whoa, 2 19s?
Whoa, 2 19s in one night?
I keep thinking about how I'm going to have to play like 4 19s cold.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I hate it. There's a really good image of from the Eastern Japan finals of Hoshikechi doing like downward dog or something, kind of like a yoga pose after playing over the period cold.
Yeah, he didn't look too happy.
It was but he was wearing like short shorts and it made it really funny.
It's very good.
He's a character.
Yeah, he looks very fun. You'll have to introduce me to all the people.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be so fun. So many people that are going to be there, and I cannot wait.
Should be a good time.
It's like 3 more days of work. I can't stop thinking about how much I don't want to go to work. I just want to be on a plane, go to Japan. It's gonna be great.
And on a not as fun note, I guess, before we get into taps of the week, Carlos.
Right.
Some people may know him as Maniac Stepper
or E-Stepper.
Yeah, true. Who's a player from Puerto Rico, actually, and he recently moved to Taiwan. He's been hanging out with Dr. D a lot. He was hit by a car last night?
Yeah.
A day or two ago. He's alive. He suffered some head injuries, cracked skull, fractured skull, it sounds like, but there's no bleeding or anything. He didn't require surgery, but he's in a lot of pain. It sounds like he has to be in the hospital for a couple days. I think he was intending to go to KAC.
Yeah, him and Dr. D.
Him and Dr. D, and now it's looking like that's probably not going to happen, so that's very unfortunate. So just keep him in your thoughts or your prayers if that's your thing.
Pray for all.
Yeah, there you go. Pray for all. There's a GoFundMe set up that I might put in the show notes, or you can go check out Dr. D's Twitter. I think it's Dr. D Vids.
Yeah, DRD Vids.
Yeah. Just wish Carlos a quick recovery.
Yep. Gotta look out for the Dance Game fam, you know?
Yeah. It could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
So it sounds like there's not going to be any lasting damage or anything, it sounds like. So hopefully he'll be back on his feet and back on a... They just got a white cab, too.
Yeah. It was literally that day.
That was the sad thing. Yeah. Because they had a red cab before, and the monitor had issues and stuff. So they're very excited to get a white cab, and yeah, so it's just really unfortunate timing. So yeah, we wish him the best, and a quick and speedy recovery.
Yes.
So how about taps out of the week?
Yeah. You want to go over people first?
Yeah. So last week, or I guess 2 weeks ago, when we had Chris on, was our last episode. Man, that feels like a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
We had Chris's pick was Elemental Creation. We had Private Eye, and do you remember the other one?
It was the knee socks.
Oh yeah,
Glass Hime. Yeah. I always.
That's why I couldn't remember it.
Yeah.
So a lot of people it sounded like made improvements on Elemental Creation. At first, it was kind of like, oh, Chris, why would you pick a 17 or an 18? But people played it, and they're like, whoa, I got my first AAA, or I got my first full combo on a 17, or second full combo, or whatever. So it was kind of cool to have push the difficulty envelope.
Yeah. We'll get there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start this next one off with a 9, but I'll let you get to the people first.
Yeah. So everybody who played last week, thanks for tweeting your scores in. That was Soup, Mason Bozeman, Ms. Nay 25, Watson Tungjun Yatham, who actually I met at Genesis.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I met a couple of people at Genesis.
There were some Massive Evolved fans in the
it was very cool to meet people. We got. Let's see here. Alex Davalos, Phenomenal Ta, Magnet, who's a good friend from Vegas. Shoutouts to Magnet. Polyrath, The Kel, Wicked Fedora, Kunal Des, Danav147, Tripping Contact, Toxic Jordan, Third Irony, Feelings Won't Fade, Nolan Card, and Zephyr101. So thank you to everybody who played our set last week or 2 weeks ago, over the past 2 weeks. And that's the new extra exclusive song.
Over the next 2 weeks.
It's the sequel to Over the Period.
Yes, that's done.
Yeah. So thanks for everybody playing. What do you got? What do we got this week, Jeff?
So again, it's the only two of us, so I'm doubling up this time. My first song is "Till the Lonely's Gone." It's from DDR X. It is the most underrated song in DDR. It's pop as hell. It's got a 16th run in it, even though it's a 9. I love it. Play it.
What BPM?
It's like 128.
Oh, that's foot speed.
It is quite spicy, if I do say so myself. But it's just such a feel good song. I told Steven about it, and then he immediately had to grind it out to MFC it. We're listening to it in the car, and he's like, "Song's so good." Yeah, DDR X actually had some good music in it, surprisingly.
Wow.
And it also had some garbage.
I was gonna say that's a hot take.
Yeah, hot take. DDR X is good, actually. No, I won't. I won't go that far.
Yeah. A song from not DDR X is Sola, which I just sort of picked on a random song I was playing with somebody at the arcade, and I was like, oh, let's play this. It's from DDR 2013. It's a 12, but I actually really liked it. It's sort of jazzy.
Yep. Very technical.
Yeah.
A lot of 12 notes.
Yeah. Just interesting rhythms and stuff.
Yeah.
Sort of tricky 16ths and stuff. So it's a nice little challenge.
Yeah.
It's a good 12. I was like, if somebody had asked me, hey, have you ever played Sola? I'd be like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah. Is that even in the game?
Is that song? I mean, honestly, I was going through the 2013 folder. I was like, I don't know any of these songs.
2013's good. It's really good.
Yeah, so I'll have to explore it a bit more. But I mean, that's kind of what this segment's for, is to get people to go outside their comfort zone and find new songs and things. So, Sola. I don't even know who it's by. Who's it by?
It's a Japanese artist.
Okay.
It's in Japanese, and I think it's from Gitadora. I think it was a crossover.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, and we got one more.
Third song, Starlight Fantasia Endorphins mix.
Ooh.
I love that song. Everyone knows the original Starlight Fantasia, but have you played the U1 version where for some reason it's with Endorphins? I don't know. It's a little bit crossover. I don't know. It's fun.
There's lots of crossovers in it?
There are, I think. There's at least one in the beginning that I always mess up. There's a few.
It's a tricky 15.
It is a tricky 15. There's a speed up in the middle. It's down and then up down. It's like da da da. That's the. You don't have to look at it in Step Mania for forever. I just gave you the secret sauce that'll make you PFC it first try.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, I actually still play in Step Mania. But it's really good, and it's really early, unfortunately. So if you get a lot of slows, that's why. But it is just kind of streamy, good, solid. I feel energized when I play it. It's especially when the chorus comes in at that speed up part. Just starts. I want to start dancing.
It's a banger.
It's a banger. Certified slapper. Anyway, so that's the 3. That's from what? 2014? Yeah, 2014.
Yeah. So as always, tweet at us with hashtag #TapSetOfTheWeek. You can follow us on Twitter at SF_evolved. We're on Facebook as well. Oh, there's a couple videos up from Genesis of the like Final Four matches, basically, where Chris beat you. Oh, yes. So we forgot to actually address what happened at Genesis.
Oh yeah, well yeah, we were so excited about the rest of Genesis.
Yeah, but
there was...
it was very exciting that so Chris beat you in the winners finals.
Yes, got Max Unlimited randomed against me.
Oh right, yeah. So
that was not fun.
You guys each vetoed a set.
Yeah.
And then the third set that came out was Max Unlimited and Baby Give Me Your Love.
Yeah, Baby Give Me Your Love.
Yeah.
And Kakume and Rhythm and Police. So great.
Yeah, that's a rough set. Yeah, but then you came back and won 2 straight.
Yeah. It was pretty hype.
Yeah, so if you want to see all that, spoiler alert, sorry, about who wins. Yeah, they're on our YouTube channel, which you can also subscribe to. I would like to put up more videos, but it takes time to cut them and upload them and everything. So if I get free time, I'll try and upload some more.
Maybe after KAC, we'll have a little bit more time to do that. I can't do it right now, but yeah. I do want to put more of the top 8 up.
Yeah, very true.
We'll get around to it.
Yeah. So we got some questions really quick.
Yeah, real quick. This is just general. Besides KAC, what in Japan are you most excited to do there? Coming from Wicked Fedora.
I know Jeff's answer.
Do you?
Yeah, Kokoichi.
Well, Mainichi Kokoichi. I mean that. I honestly, I don't know. I feel like I'm really excited to play Dance Rush. I wanna try it out. I'm also really excited to just see a bunch of the I get to go to Kyoto this time, in Osaka, that kind of Western Japan area, and I'm really excited to go back to some of my favorite places that I used to hang out, my local hangout spots back when I lived there. So yeah, I also Coco is wonderful. It's very, very true, and that's sort of a given that's the thing I'm most excited about. But what about you, Dalton?
I've just never been out of the country before, so I honestly don't even know what to expect. I'm just kind of gonna go with the flow, whatever other people are doing. We're trying to arrange a trip to Fuji Q Highland, which is like a amusement park, like roller coasters and stuff. That'll be cool. There's nothing like one specific thing. I think it's just experiencing like a whole different country and culture. Like I've never done that before, and been immersed somewhere where I don't know the language, and I'm honestly not great at public transportation.
It's actually really, really easy.
So that should be interesting. But yeah, it's just the entire experience of being somewhere new. Just excited for that, and just to hang out with people from America and meet Japanese players. There's a couple of people on Twitter that like Japanese players that follow me, and they'll like my photos, but
there's still something you haven't actually met in person. There's still that disconnect.
And even if we don't speak the same language, just liking somebody's score is easy enough to be like, oh, that person knows who I am. Like Ginexiasu. Yeah, he seems like a really nice guy. He's a very nice always guy. Replies to people's scores and be like, oh, good job and things. So I don't know if he's gonna be there or not, but
I think he is.
It'd be cool. Yeah, and just should be a fun trip all around.
Excellent. Zello asks, is there anything that would motivate you to play more doubles, or if you play doubles regularly, then what keeps you coming back? So I don't play doubles regularly. I have wanted to get into it. I think for me, the hardest part about playing doubles is the lack of competition for doubles. It's already kind of like a niche thing in a niche game that's at select arcades in the US. It's a little unfortunate that there are so few people that want to put up double scores, and I certainly for me personally, I think I could improve a lot, and if I just tried a little bit, get the 14 clear lamp or the 15 clear lamp and just go through and start trying to PFC stuff, but
there's just not as much competition.
Yeah, really. It's harder. At least with this is the case in Japan as well, or Korea. For Fems, yes, he plays doubles, but the ultimate limits of the game are really pushed on singles. And so you really can get a sense for like what the maximum achievable thing is on singles. And I've gotten like some world records on doubles for just like playing something, getting like 6 perfects on it, and it's like that's a world record. It's like, okay, I guess. But like people could beat this, you know, so it doesn't feel as satisfying for me when I, you know, on singles, if I get a world record, like that is a song that everyone plays and everyone's tried it. And then, you know, that's better than everyone else. So it's like there's a lot of personal satisfaction there. Doubles is also hard.
It's very tiring.
And I need the stamina for other things.
I mean, maybe that's why FFMs has so much stamina.
Yeah, exactly.
It plays lots of pump doubles.
So it's definitely something I want to break into. I also don't really think that doubles on DDR is as interesting as pump doubles.
True.
Some of the charts are really, really good, but some of them, like you look at possession CDP, it's like, okay, I never want to play that. But that's, of course, on one very extreme end of the spectrum.
Yeah. I enjoy playing double. I actually haven't really played that much on Ace, just because I'm still focusing on single so much. But a lot of times, like, if I'm at a private residence or something where the game's more... I don't have to pay for it, and that's another thing, is, like, even if it's doubles premium, like, I feel like my time and my money's better spent focusing on single for me, where I can, like, make more improvements, or, like, more meaningful improvements, I guess. But, like, I just like playing double. Like I said, if I'm just at somebody's house or at a convention or something, and there's a machine open, I love playing doubles. I mean, for a while, I was, like, trying to pass... I passed, like, antimatter challenge, like, at 18. So, I mean, I was, like, kind of pushing myself for 17s and 18s. Paranoia KST mix double.
That's a really good one.
It's a very fun double chart. I like playing that one at 17 also. So, yeah, just kind of stuff like that. But, as far as, like, it's just not as satisfying, kind of like you were saying. I think I would have to play it more to, like, get to the point where I would have, like, specific goals.
Yeah.
In order to, like, for it to be rewarding. Yeah. Oh, it's kind of... It's interesting to think about, like, what would really make me play doubles more. But, I mean, there's still so much left to be explored for me on singles.
Yeah.
So...
I'm excited if the next version of DDR comes out, and, like, that's a good time for me, I think, that I might switch to double a little bit. Because they tend to reset clear lamps and stuff between mixes. And so I don't really want to start playing double and then have all my, like, lamps gone. So at least it might be nice to start it right when the new mix comes out and then start building up, you know, that. I actually do have a lot of lamps on double, and I tried to, like, I had a goal of PFCing everything that I could on single and double. And so I have a lot of stuff like 15 and below PFC'd, but I do need to do a lot of work to break into the upper ones.
So, Watson Tung John Yatham basically asking, what are some other good places to go for food in Japan?
I honestly don't know.
You just only go to Coco?
Well, okay. The fun thing about Japan is that, like, every hole-in-the-wall area you go to, like, has delicious food. It's crazy. Like, I just walk down the street and there's a ramen shop, and I'm like, okay. And it's the best ramen you've ever had.
Yeah, I mean, Chris was just saying that, like, even the food from 7-Eleven.
Oh, 7-Eleven's great.
Yeah, he's like, even the food from 7-Eleven's, like, amazing. It's like, he's like, everything I ate in Japan was amazing.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah.
You go to, like, the top of like train stations, for example, have tons of restaurants because you have people going in and out of there all the time. So you have really, really great restaurants. I went to the top of Sapporo Station and had, like, the best sushi I've ever had. It's like, there's actually not that many, like, there are chains of, like, McDonald's and Burger King and Coco, I guess. And there's actually the other chains that are very popular are Yoshinoya, Matsuya, Sukiya, and those are some of the main ones, like beef bowl places. They have curry a lot of the time too. Those are good. Those are cheap. Oh, Nako's another one. Those are, I mean, I love all the chains. Yeah. So.
I mean, it's a shame that Roger's not here because he has, like, a whole list of all these ramen places he's going to go.
But none of those are chains. It's just a...
yeah, that's true.
Like, you really have to, like, seek out some of these. There's, like, one place...
It says chains and restaurants.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'll give you a sneak preview of the best beef bowl place that I've ever had. It's called Maruha no Karubidon. And there's one between Okachimachi and Akihabara, and you have to walk there, but it's fine because it's like the best freaking beef bowl that I've ever had. They have 4 locations. One of them is in Hokkaido. That's where I had it for the first time. And then thankfully there's one like 15 minutes walking away from where we're going to have extra exclusive.
Okay.
So that is absolutely happening that day.
Good.
It is such good. Oh my god, just beef bowls in general. It's just rice and egg and scallions and beef. Just put them all together, mix it up, eat it. Delicious.
Man, I'm hungry now.
Yeah, it's wonderful. You're not getting...
I was going to say, we need to go get food now.
No, well, I already ate, but you can get food. And I'll be dreaming about Coco next week.
I think we got time for one more here. Just to sort of summarize the long question, but tips for keeping a clear mind while you have a specific goal. They were trying to AAA Romancing Lair, but in the last attempts, I just couldn't focus since I got distracted by things around me. And I mean, this is a good question because you were kind of having this issue last night.
A little bit, yeah.
Even that there was lots of loud drunk guy and people playing air hockey and stuff.
Shouting,
so,
yeah, love it.
So how do you keep a clear mind?
You gotta usually play something else. Like I was switching off from the song I was trying to grind out. And just try a little something else. Kind of cleared my mind a little bit. Mm-hmm. I just think in general, like playing, like having a clear goal of like, oh, I want a 990k Romancing Lair. Like that is a good goal. You should try for it. But if you can't get it in 3 or 4 tries, your time is probably best spent doing something else. Because like at a certain point, you're more. I mean, this happens to me all the time where I'm grinding something out and the more I can't do it, the more I do notice the other things that are around me. Because I'm already in a sort of bad mental state, I'm sort of declining as I'm playing this thing over and over again. I can't do it, so I'm already like, oh. And then some kid is next to me, and I kind of can almost see him in my peripheral. I'm like, oh, like, why are you there?
Yeah.
And then you start to try to like blame other things for the reason that you're doing poorly. So that's at the point that you need to really cut over and be like, okay, this is not working out for me right now. Do something else. Come back to it later. When you have a more clear head.
Yeah.
I don't think you should be forcing it. Like.
Yeah, I agree. Like I think playing a song 3 or, if you get extra stage 4 times in a set, like cool. If you don't get it that time, go play a couple of, 2 or 3 more games of other things. Just get your mind off of it. Cause you can kind of like lock yourself into a mental block, on a certain section. Like if you keep getting a miss at one section, then the next time that section comes up, like, you get so anxious.
Yeah.
I mean, this happens to me on Monkey Business. Like, the beginning of the slowdown, every time, I'm like, this is where I always get a great, or like, this is where I miss, and then every time I get a great, or, every once in a while I get a miss. So, it helps to, like, move off of it and then come back later, sort of, just sort of refreshed. Or also try playing it on Mirror.
That's always a good one. Yeah. I advocate return mods. It's very, very good.
Yep. So hopefully that helps. That was for Loco Voto on Twitter. I think that just about wraps it up for today. Yeah. Don't you?
I do. I think we're on hiatus for a little while KAC is happening. We'll try to see what we can do about an episode while we're in Japan. That might be hard to coordinate. But so worst case scenario, we'll be back in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. 3 weeks.
Man, I don't even...
No, 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks. Right? No, never mind. 3 weeks. Yeah. Wow, it's a long time. Okay. We'll be back at some point with more episodes, and we thank you for your patience as we're on vacation.
We're traveling and, gonna be busy.
A little bit.
Yep. So, well, as always, thank you for listening, and
thank you for playing.